Hi everyone, and welcome to Sweetpea Seeds Inspirations. My name is Sydney and welcome to clue number 4 for our Winter Mystery Crochet-A-Long. I want to thank each and every one of you who are participating in the Mystery Crochet-A-Long, but also just supporting and watching throughout the crochet-along. I greatly appreciate it, and we'll go ahead and get into some details about this week's clue. So I will be switching it back over to the burgundy color, and you are going to need at least 200 yards for this portion. And then also I'm going to be switching back over to the ivory color, and you will need at least 50 yards for that. This week's stitch is going to be a lot more simpler than last week's. I know last week's stitch was a little tedious for some of you guys, especially more beginners. But at any point in time, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to email me or even just ask away in the comment section. So clue number 4. Oh, before I actually get to the clue, I do want to put out a suggestion, and with me not doing a gauge swatch throughout this, clue number 4, I noticed the stitch. I don't know if it was my tension or the stitch itself, but I noticed that it was a little bit more tighter than the last 3 clues. So if you do find that going on, just go up in a hook size or maybe even 2 to straighten it back out. But anyways, clue number 4 is clue number 4. I'm going to walk you through the first 2 rows. So in clue number 3, I did say that you can go ahead and get a jump start, and what I mean by that is we're going to repeat what we've done in the last 3 clues, which is in this lace section we are going to get 84 stitches in our new color. If you are using the same color, then that is perfectly fine. You just want to make sure that you are working on the back side of your work when you get these 84 stitches across. And how I accomplish that, just like the previous clues, is I will single crochet in that very first stitch, and then 3 single crochets into the chain spaces, and then a single crochet into the cluster stitch from the previous row, and that should give you 84 stitches up until the very last stitch. You should have 2 stitches in that last chain and then a stitch in that very last stitch. And then once you've gotten that completed, you'll go ahead and turn over to the front side of your work, and you're going to go ahead and single crochet into each stitch, just making sure you do have 84 stitches. And then we'll go ahead and start on the 2-row repeat once you have gotten that completed. Once you have gotten those first 2 rows completed, we're going to start on the first row repeat, which is going to chain 1 and turn your work. So now you should be on the back side of your work. And I'm going to let you guys know right now what I'm going to be doing, or working in the stitches, is going to be a little bit different than what you're going to be doing, because we're in 2 different parts of clue number 4. You guys are just starting off, but I have already got majority of clue number 4 completed. But it's going to be the same thing throughout, so I'm going to show you how to start off the first row repeats, and then I'm going to show you how it's going to look once you have already worked up that first section of the 2-row repeats. So I hope that makes sense, but we are going to, for the first row repeat, we are going to start off in that very first stitch. That chain 1 does not count as a stitch, but we're going to go into that very first stitch and place a single crochet. Go into the very next stitch, and we are going to place another single crochet. Go ahead and chain 1, skip the next stitch, and then in that second stitch we are going to place a single crochet. Again, chain 1, skip the next stitch. In that second stitch we are going to place a single crochet. So you are going to go ahead and continue repeating that for the first row repeat. And how it's going to look once you have already gotten the second row repeat and go back to the first row repeat is you're going to start off the same way. So you'll start in that very first stitch and place a single crochet after you do your chain 1, and then you will have a chain 1 space. Once you will single crochet into that chain 1 space, and then you'll chain 1. You'll skip the stitch that we are going to work in the second row repeat and go into the chain 1 space and place a single crochet. So once you have already got the first 2 row repeats completed, you're always going to chain 1, and you will always single crochet into that chain 1 space. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this first row repeat, and then we're going to work on the second row repeats. I hope this all makes sense to you guys, and I'm sorry for any kind of confusion. And you always want to make sure that your first row repeat is always on the back side of your work. For the second row repeat, we are going to chain up 2, turn your work to now where you are now on the front side of your work. And we are going to go into that very first stitch, and what we're going to be doing is in these 2 stitches we are going to be doing a half double crochet 2 together. So we are going to start off with a yarn over, go into that very first stitch, and then we are going to draw up a loop to where there is now 3 loops on your hook. We're not going to finish off that half double crochet. We're going to go into the next single crochet, yarn over, go into that stitch, draw up a loop to now where there is now 5 loops on your hook. We are going to pull through all 5 of them loops. So that is a half double crochet 2 together. And now we are going to chain 1. We're going to go into that same space that we left off in. We're going to yarn over, go into that stitch, draw up a loop to now where there is now 3 loops on your hook, and then go into the next stitch, which is that single crochet, draw up a loop to now where there is now 5 loops on your hook, and go ahead and pull through all 5 of them loops, and then chain 1. So that is going to be the repeat unit for row number 2. So again, we're going to yarn over, go into that same space, draw up a loop to know where there is now 3 loops on your hook, go into the next single crochet, draw up a loop to now where there is 5 loops on your hook, and pull through all 5 of them loops. Don't forget that chain 1, and we're going to go ahead and repeat that until you have gotten to the end of the second row repeat. Row number 2, you are going to leave off with a half double crochet in that very last stitch, and you're going to go ahead and continue those 2 row repeats until you have a total of 21 rows with the repeating rows. If you're going to go ahead and count the first 2 rows, it will be 23, or until your desired length if you are very nitpicky about making sure everything is the same length, which I made this the same length as my clue number 2, but that is completely up to you. And I left off on the first row repeat, so now I'm going to be working on the front side of my work. So once you have gotten to your desired length, or just about to your desired length, I think I left half of an inch for this last row. So my clue number 2 was 9.5 inches. So I have about 9.25 inch here. So that very last row before we start working on our lace portion again, we are going to chain 1, and we are just going to single crochet in each stitch until you have a total of 84 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this, and then I will meet you back around for our lace portion of clue number 4. For the lace, I am changing over to my ivory color, and we are going to do the same thing that we have done in clue number 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead and start off with a chain 1, go into that very first stitch and place a single crochet. Go ahead and chain 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to skip the next 3 stitches, so 1, 2, and 3, and in that 4th stitch, go ahead and place a single crochet. chain 5 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. In that 4th stitch, go ahead and place a single crochet. So go ahead and continue repeating that until you have made it to the end. For the next 2 rows, we are going to start off with a chain of 4. Turn your work, and then we are going to go into that 3rd chain of the chain 5, and we are going to place a double crochet. Chain 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go into that same stitch and place a half worked double crochet. So you're gonna yarn over, draw up a loop, and then pull through 2 to now where there is only 2 loops on your hook. Go ahead and yarn over twice, go into that single crochet, and we are going to work a half treble stitch to where there is only 3 loops on your hook. And then you are going to go into that chain 3 space of the chain 5, and we are going to yarn over, draw up a loop, pull through 2, and now there should be 4 loops on your hook, and go ahead and pull through all 4 of them loops. And then we are going to chain 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to go into that same space, and we are going to place a half worked double crochet. So yarn over, draw up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over twice, go into that single crochet, draw up a loop, pull through 2 to now where there is 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go into that 3rd chain of the chain 5, and go ahead and work a half worked double crochet to where there is only 4 loops left on your hook, and then pull through all 4. So we're going to go ahead and repeat that unit until you have made it to the end of this row, and also go ahead and repeat that until you have for the 2nd row. We're doing the exact same thing that we did in clue numbers 1, 2, and 3. And then after that, once you have gotten that completed, if you would like to get a head start on clue number 5, you can go ahead and get 84 stitches across. But until then, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. I will see you guys for the last and final clue, where we will see the final reveal and know what the theme is based, or what this project is based on. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time.